After making landfall in Florida Thursday night, Helene traveled inland, dumping as much as 30 inches of rain in the North Carolina mountains, causing life-threatening floods and at least a dozen landslides.
I don't think anyone was prepared for it. I don't think anyone thought it would be this bad.
The governor says more than 500 National Guard members are now working alongside local emergency responders.
This reading is for my loyal subscriber, Barky, who often comments and who's been cheerleading me when I was under 3,000 to get to 3,000 subs. This is for Barky and everybody else who is affected by that Hurricane Helene. We are sending everybody love and prayers and blessings. I know that there are still people missing. I know that many communities have been devastated. And of great concern is the lack of help. You saw in that clip there, 500 guardsmen, National Guardsmen have been deployed. 500? What about 5,000 or 50,000? That would be of more help. Anyway, this is sending love to those affected, and let's do a reading quickly for them. Crushed. See, there's the raven, and it's got a little person in its jaw. People there are feeling crushed, and they're also feeling as though things are going unnoticed. The moon, they're clouding things, shading things. Things are not out in the open yet. Many of the communities are still, even now, cut off, and so people are just feeling crushed. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Yep, many communities are still literally trapped because the roads have washed away. Roads have washed away, bridges have washed away, and I'm wondering if this means that there's some people there that can still be rescued. Some people that can still be rescued. Don't lose hope if you haven't heard from your loved ones. This card here is something that is a little bit sinister, and a lot of people in those communities are wondering why the people in power, the people with the golden mask, the people who have all the money, are spending billions on Ukraine, for example, and the little kittens out there, defenseless little kittens, defenseless little people who have been affected by this massive flood, are getting really not very much help or support. Maybe in one or two areas they're getting support, but not much. So people are feeling frustrated and upset. Yeah, this is the politicians showing you with one hand, trying to show, oh look, we're going to give you something, but it's, in the scheme of things, it's not a great amount that they're doing to help right at this moment. But we can change that by petitioning people. Yeah, and this is my batshit crazy card. It's just crazy times. People have not seen anything like this before in that area. Yeah, so there's not only that, it's people need to look after their mental health, even when they come out of it, even if they've got their property and their family and their loved ones are all safe, they're still going to need to look after their mental health, because this is something that the impacts can be felt for a long time. And the other issue with mental health is that people can feel very isolated. So anything that you can do on the ground to support, send messages of support, that will be gratefully received. Authenticity, individual. Yeah, so I'm getting a lot that people there on the ground are feeling that they're individuals, they're on their own, they're not, people are not concerned about them. See there how she's feeling, how she's sort of hiding behind her hair, feeling very alone. I'm also getting from this that many pets are going to be displaced. A lot of help is going to be needed to reunite those pets with their loved ones. But although this is how she's feeling, I get that the community people are actually looking out for each other. So even though people are feeling isolated, the community there will be looking out for each other. Celestial. So this is the For me, owls are often spirits of those who have passed on. So unfortunately, there have been lives lost in this situation, and that's extremely sad. And the words here talk about connect. Hopefully, people will feel connected to their loved ones, and hopefully, the remains will be found. I'm getting that more remains will be found. These little spots here, these little dots, people whose souls have passed on, and when the remains are found, that will bring more comfort and at least some closure to some people. So this is forward looking. This lady is looking forward. See at the top there's a rainbow bridge. So although some people have passed, and these are the clouds, the storm clouds, it's been a very difficult time. People will succeed. See the crown that she's got on her head. They will succeed. They will move forward. They will help each other. This animal here has also got a crown. Fertility and growth, it says here. So although it will take a while, quite a while, to rebuild and restore what has been damaged, the future does look bright, but it's going to be quite a long road. Unfortunately, it's going to be quite a long road. But the important thing for people is to be together, to walk together, and here the butterflies. There's people in spirit, to honor people in spirit. Oh, and I've not seen that before. There's a cross over there, so that could even be graves. It's going to be difficult to move forward until loved ones have been found and laid to rest. But you're not alone. You're definitely not alone. There are many people, millions of people, I'm getting within the community and outside of the community, praying for everybody's safety and praying for not only physical safety but emotional, mental safety, and for services to be restored. Yeah. So sometimes when I read the cards, I read the words jump out to me. Sometimes it's more the image, and this to me is the cleanup after the floods. So please don't at me in the comments for not reading the words. Sometimes the words are not what is important, and in this reading, it's the imagery. The imagery is the cleanup after the flood, and again, this lady here is on her own. She feels like she's on her own, and I'm hopeful that the governor or whoever it is can send more than just 500 people to help, personnel to help. They really need an army. Send 50,000. What's 500? Oh, he said he sent 500. What good does 500 do? Send 50,000. Honestly, it's your community that needs help. Yep. So rising above, eventually, when the sun comes out and the cleanups happened, the communities will rise above what's happened here. And even if they have to do it tough and they have to just rely on themselves, they will feel the love. They will feel the love from us out here that are praying for them, and they will rise above it. I'll pull one more and an underlying energy. What do you think? Do you think the politicians should send more help? Or do you think the 500 personnel is enough? Am I being too harsh? Sharing yourself. Yeah, we might find some stories, some incredible stories of survival, also stories of just ordinary citizens helping each other, rescuing each other. There was a story about 50 people who were on top of the roof of a hospital, and then they got rescued with helicopters. Yeah, so we might find some... Oh, and this is another fast forward movement. Courageous. A lot of people have been very courageous, have been gone above and beyond, done things that people would not ever have expected, really risked their lives to save others, and it really has paid off. And there's going to be some of those stories, this sharing yourself, some of the stories we will hear about, but there will be hundreds of other stories that we don't ever hear about, of just ordinary people doing the right thing just because they can. And I guess that's the positive energy that flows throughout this whole disaster, is just how much people love each other and are willing to risk their own lives for total strangers, but also the millions that are out there praying and looking for you, looking after you in their prayers. And here's another listen with your heart. So for anybody affected, I know it's cold comfort when you've lost everything, but you're never alone. You're never alone. Love always surrounds you. Please send comments in the comments below to people who are affected so that they can know, Barky and everybody else who's in that area, so that they can know just how much we love them and care for them. And we truly hope that the angels walk with them today and every day, especially as they do their cleanup. And they may have lost some precious memories, but I'm really hopeful that the pets can be found and reunited with their owners. Sending you love and blessings from Rainbow at Rainbow Pyramid.